to go. So where you going to tomorrow? And I see that these are lies to come. Would you even care? And I'm feeling, and I'm feeling. Where you going to tomorrow? Where you going with a mask found? And I feel when the dogs begin to smell her. Well, she smell of love.
All right, I'll start the show in about 2 minutes. Time is showing up,
And I feel so much depends on the weather. So is it raining in your bedroom? And I see that these are the eyes of disarray. Would you even care?
All right, everybody. How is everybody doing? Welcome to the show. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. A ton of you are not subscribed to this channel, and we do upload free content every single day. So that is a miss. Subscribing is free. And that also helps us out with the YouTube algorithm to reach more traders. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel with the button below the video. I think it's there, right? So non-farm payrolls Friday. How is everybody doing? Hi Jacob, how are you? Alan, how are you? So there in the house. All right, I like it. I like it. I like it. So let's have a look at Quentin. How are you? Well, Aravali, how are you? That's a weird name you got there. James, are you going long on the Nasdaq? Not yet, my friend. Not yet. Argentina está en la casa. ¿Cómo estás, mamo? So yeah, I know. I don't know if you watched the video. Jason Tai, how are you? How are you guys? I don't know if you watch my video, but yeah, that is my I mean, my trade idea for these NFPs is that. So let's have a look. I'm just focusing on the U.S. data, right? So basically, it's forecasted that the U.S. economy added 553,000 jobs last month, with a decrease of zero point 0.1 in the unemployment rate, and yeah, and the average hourly earnings staying steady, steady, steady. Um, Hi, how is everybody doing? Right, so basically, my idea here is this, right? I was looking at the major three, the major three indices. The Dow is my least favorite. Now, the S&P 500, what I like about the S&P 500 is that it already rejected my power buy zone, right? So the reason that I haven't taken a long on the S&P 500 is because of this. If you look at the 4-hour chart, I'm not gonna thicken this chart out. Just look at the top left of my screen. This massive bearish candle that pierced through those highs or my power buy zone, I really didn't like it. So yeah, that was a no-go for me. But now the Nasdaq, mates, the Nasdaq is where I am eyeing a possible long. Maybe I already missed it. Maybe not. Let's have a look. So after that ABC, that ABC pullback, and the price moving from the previous power buy zone, right? We've had another pullback, but if you notice, price has yet to come and retest those September's highs. Now, because it's non-farm payroll, right? Because it's non-farm payrolls, we are going to get a lot of volatility, right? And if numbers come out as expected, if numbers come out as expected, equities are going to rally, right? Equities are going to rally. But because it's non-farm payrolls, right? Because it's non-farm payrolls, I am expecting some kind of a um, move move to the downside. I mean, it always happens, right? It always happens when the data doesn't come out mixed, right? When the data doesn't come out mixed, and we have a true direction in the market. Um, the volatility is pretty high, and normally, if in the same case as a bit in numbers, right? We're going to see a move to the downside that basically is a stop hunt, on weak longs, or people from, weak traders front running this event. And that would be my opportunity to buy here. So basically, this is what I'm looking at. And I'm going to show you how it looks actually here. So basically, this is what I'm looking at. Yeah, you know, a dip towards those 17, 15, hold on, a dip towards the 15700 with stop losses just below the previous low, right? Um, um, I am prepared to take a 1% risk on that possible trade, but I am not going to do anything at the moment. We need to, because I mean, no one knows. No one knows what's going to happen, right? No one knows if the numbers are actually going to beat expectations. Just have a look at historic data, right? I mean, this is all kinds of fucked. But if you look at this, actually, hold on. Let's just have a look at the the year 2021, right? So if you look at expectations in actual data, right? It never comes out exactly. So here the expectation was that the U.S. economy had added 690,000 jobs, but the actual number was 222,000 jobs. That was a clear miss in employment numbers. So that's one of the reasons that you do not front run high impact events. So let's wait and see what happens. We are 8 minutes away from fireworks. Today, we had a big dip. Well, not a big dip, but kind of a move down in the pound. I don't know if you noticed that. I was short the pound US dollar and short the pound yen. I closed those trades basically at break even, one with the other, right? Prior to non-farm payrolls. But the trigger on that move to the downside on the pound was this Bank of England's Saunders saying that inflation expectations have drifted up, but basically, with a very dovish language towards a possible rate hike. Also, if you're part of the VIP team, you already know what's up with I mean today we had a speech from Lagarde, that's the ECB, and this was what was impressive for me, right? ECB Lagarde said that very unlikely to see rate hikes in 2022. So very, very dovish language from the ECB. I will be looking for euro shorts, next week. Yeah, more so if we have, I mean, more so if we get a strong dollar out of today's non-farm payrolls. So again, I've been saying all week long that anything above this is the DXY, right? Anything above the 95, 70 level, right here is bullish to me. I mean, price is really setting up for a continuation, but again, we need to wait and see what happens, right? So, yeah, any questions, guys? Are you prepared for this release? Let's have a look. I'm gonna put on my squawk because we're going to hear the actual release, and maybe I'll do this actually, right? I'll do this. So heads up because this is not a news terminal in the sense that you're not going to see the release here on my screen. You have to hear it on the squawk. And we are going to plug in the Nasdaqs. Right. Is non-farm payrolls affecting GBP, Swiss franc? I mean, yeah, definitely. Just think about this, right? If the US dollar rallies, the pound is going to depreciate against the US dollar. So that is going to bring the pound Swiss franc down, maybe. I don't know. I don't trade that pair. That market, I don't trade it. I already went through the Dow, mate. I see nothing there. So, yeah, let's bring that here. Boom. Uh, cool beans. Right, so here's where I will be looking for buys around this low. So, right, so seven 15,700 or so. Even if we take a dip towards the towards yesterday's lows, I would be keen on buying, you know, on high volatility. That is if we get a beat on non-farm payrolls. That is only if we get a beat on non-farm payroll. Right, so we are, let's have a look, 3 minutes away from the release. And what about this guy? Right, we have a ton of data coming out. Hold on, I'll show you.
Heads up then, 3 minutes now till this US jobs data. Non-farm payrolls, we're looking for 550,000. The unemployment rate, we're looking for 4.5%. Average earnings year on year, we're looking for 5%. On the month, we're looking for 0.4%. Private payrolls, we're looking for 530,000. With the manufacturing payrolls, we're looking for 45,000. Average work week hours expected to stay unchanged in November at 34.7. Moving to Canada, net change in employment for November, we're looking for 37,500. With the unemployment rate, we're looking for 6.6%.
Um, will NFP have effect on GBP? I don't know. I mean,
Also, some more news
hold on.
coming out of China involving Evergrande. China's Guangdong province government is said to have summoned China's Evergrande chairman.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is not the time to think about that. Yeah, I'm really, really, really focused on this possible uh, long on the Nasdaq. That's my only idea at the moment. Yeah, metals. I mean, some people, I mean, some subscribers were asking, some VIPs were asking about metals. Yeah, I'm not touching metals on this non-farm payrolls release. Of course, if we have a strong jobs number, metals are going to continue its move to the downside. Um, this is the only market that I am looking at, possibly, possibly some very good midterm longs here. After that pullback, this pullback towards those previous highs, right? 1 minute. 1 minute. Let's go. All right. Oh boy, boy, boy.
1 minute.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money
Money.
talks.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Cool. 1 minute. So we're looking above 552, right? Looking above 555. So heads up to that. If we get a number below 555, I'm not going to do anything. Um, let's wait. Let's see. 30 seconds.
And 10 seconds.
10 seconds, guys. Heads up.
Still waiting on the number. 210,000, 210,000, with the
Oh,
unemployment rate coming in at 4.2%, average earnings on the year 4.8%, month on month 0.3%, private payrolls 235,000, with the manufacturing payrolls at 31,000. Moving to Canada. We're still waiting on the Canadian data actually, but just to repeat, non-farm payrolls 210,000. That's a miss on the estimate. Prior revised to 546 from 531,000. Average earnings on the year 4.8, month on month 0.3%.
all right. So a big, big, big miss on
And the
US.
labour force participation rate there coming in at 61.8%. Moving to Canada, net change in employment 153,700, and the unemployment rate 6%.
Right. So very mixed data. Very, very mixed data. Uh, um, a massive, massive miss on employment numbers, on U.S. non-farm payroll numbers, right? But a big beat on unemployment rate, right? So that is very, very mixed, um, and it doesn't go according to my trading plans. So I'm not going to do anything at the moment. What I'm going to do, I'm going to wait. I'm going to see the reaction on metals, right? Very mixed reaction to on metals,
Moving to Canada
very
then,
choppy.
StatsCan saying
Yeah,
Canada's
I don't care
hours
about
worked
Canada.
rise
Hold
to
on.
pre-pandemic
I really don't
levels.
care about Canada. Very choppy reaction on metals. Gold, silver too. Silver is moving up. I mean, getting catching a bit. The DXY, on the other hand, massive, massive, massive dump on the US dollar. So probably we'll be looking for US dollar shorts on this US session on a retest of these previous lows, right? The Nasdaq, however, is rallying at the moment. Doesn't go according to my plan. That's why I'm not going to buy into this strength. More so because of this reaction. If we look at the very short term time frames, this reaction is super, super mild, right? We're talking about let's have a look. From low to high on the candle, just a 0.5% move to the upside on the Nasdaq. Yeah, the S&P 500, same thing. We're looking at, yeah, Alan, you're going to go short on equities. Well, more power to you, mate. I wouldn't do that. I mean, I'm not gonna do that. The S&P 500 looking very good on the upside on the daily, right? The risk to reward on a possible long on the S&P 500 with the rejection of these previous highs is not quite there for me yet, but this is another market I'm looking at. Now, why are equities rallying with such bad or not bad? They're not bad employment numbers, but such a big miss on employment numbers. Well, the main reason is because of this. Hold on, let me show you on Forex Factory. It's much better. I mean, you're used to this, right? It's because of the unemployment rate. But if you look at actually Didn't you guys hear 0.4% on average hourly earnings? I did hear that on my squawk. I haven't they haven't uploaded the news, but very mixed numbers. It's looking very dire for longs on equities at the open. As traders, we need to adapt to possible changes in our bias, more so on big releases like this. Um, Again, Alan, you're going short. I am not going short. But yeah, I'm not going short actually, but I'm not gonna buy unless I see some real strength at the open. Metals. Just have a look at this reaction in gold. Super. I mean, this is what happens when you get super mixed numbers, right? There's no real direction, right? And the reason that we have mixed numbers is because we have a drop in unemployment rate, but a miss in actual jobs added and a drop in average hourly earnings. So that is what a mixed release is called, or what it looks like. So, tons of traders are getting chopped here. Um, I bet you, right? I bet you that that is happening. So, yeah, not the release that I was expecting, not the release that everybody was expecting. That's a shame, that's a shame, because this opportunity in the Nasdaq was super good. Um, yeah, but that's a shame. Let's have a look at some other markets. The yen crashing on this NFE. Remember that my the chart on the down on the downside, or the big chart here, is not the hourly chart. Right now we're looking at the 5-minute chart just to have a look or a feel on the actual reaction on this release. I'm hoping for a rebound of USD Euro. Wow. You know, yeah, I don't know, mate. If the US dollar continues to crash as it is right now, yeah, we probably. I mean, yesterday I think we were talking about somebody on the show was talking about this possible head and shoulders or inverted head and shoulders on the euro US dollar, and I was talking about how this market is super bearish, right, because of US dollar strength, and more so because of how dovish the ECB came out today. I'm sorry, I had the hiccups. But but if the USD continues to if the USD hear me out, right? And I'm going to move this chart to the 15-minute chart because I want to show you the range, right? This reaction on this mixed data is absolutely untradeable. It's a shame, right? It's a shame that we didn't get clean numbers to be able to trade the release. But such is trading, right? And that's the reason that you don't front run these big, high impact events. Now, having said that, right, the reaction on the USD is quite bearish, right? But remember that we are still trading above the 95.70 level. And, even though we are in pre-market volume or pre-market trading, I'm sorry, yeah, I don't see that big of a push to the downside. If we look at, let's have a look at the Euro USD. So this candle, the Euro USD has only moved 27 pips from this non-farm payrolls release, right? That's nothing. I remember when, a couple of years ago, maybe 5 years ago, during non-farm payrolls, you could see, the Euro USD moved 200 pips, right, in the span of 5 minutes. That was awesome. Now, this is untradeable again. Let's go back to the DXY and let me finish up my thought process on this, right? So we're still trading above the 95.70 level. Now, the The data was quite mixed. Let's have a look at right U.S. non-farm payrolls. Right. So the data was quite mixed, and I don't think that, well, it doesn't matter what I think. We have to trade what we see. And what I see is price still trading above the 95.70 level. Again, we are in pre-market trading, but this push to the downside is quite mild. So I don't see big sellers or big selling pressure. Um, I don't see sellers going big enough to swipe all the buy orders that are in place here at the 95.70 level. So two possible scenarios, guys. Two possible scenarios. Still to the upside. I'm still looking up to for upside on the USD. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but basically looking at the same buy the deep scenario that I was looking on the Nasdaq, right? At the open, on the first minutes of U.S. trading, we might see that move to the downside on bad, on a miss on employment numbers. But that might be short-lived in the sense that we could actually find big buyers here. And should that scenario play out, we need to find the perfect market to buy that dip on the USD, which is what we're going to do right now. Right. So before we continue, I'm going to go through all of this with you guys. Of course, this is Non-Farm Payrolls Friday show, so I'll do that with you. But the actual trade is going to be sent only to my VIPs. Right, so if you want to be part of the VIP team, there's a link below this video, and if you use the code 21 off, you get 21% off of your monthly subscription. Now let's find some US dollar markets that we can buy the dip on. Now the US dollar Mexican peso is super bearish at the moment. So the Mexican peso is really appreciating against, let me just get rid of this, appreciating against the US dollar. Now, by the deep opportunities on the USD, you all know that when it comes to US dollar moves, the US dollar Mexican peso is one of my I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. It's one of my preferred markets, right? Now, having said that, yeah, I would love to buy the dip here on the 2093 level, but that wouldn't be a dip. That would be a massive, massive fallout on this market, given the fact that we will be breaking with the previous lows, which means that price will be continuing with its current bearish structure. So that's a no-go. US dollar South African rand a little overextended. US dollar Norwegian krona. I just don't like price action all here. US dollar Singapore dollar. We're looking at the 8-hour chart. We might as well be let's have a look at the hourly chart actually. The hourly, I said the hourly. Yeah. So yeah, now this actually can work. Just have a look at this, right? That rejection of the 3680 level, this previous pivotal level here. If you look closely, what's happening here? This is the zone that I'm looking at, right? This is the pivotal zone that I'm looking at on the US dollars, Singapore dollar, right? This would be a US dollar driven move on a rejection of this big pivotal level. So I'm going to put that uh, on blue. Yeah. Now, again, this is just information for you guys to take, to make better decisions. I am not telling you to go long here at all. I am not doing that myself. I am waiting for the US Open to place a trade. You know, I need to see the real volume in the US session to get actual direction on the US dollar, right? Because if you look at, again, the 5 minute chart, this is absolutely choppy mess, non-directional mess. So, uh, you already heard my thought process on why I'm possibly looking for longs. The level that I will be looking for longs on the DXY, remember that this is, I mean, the US dollar, Singapore dollar is a market where I could be trading long the USD, right? But my real setup on the US dollar comes from the DXY. I need that push to the downside on the DXY for me to be able to buy into that weakness. So don't get confused when I say that this could be a very good buying opportunity, um, because it could be, but the setup has not been, it's not yet developed on the DXY. So that's why it's just a possible opportunity. Euro USD, possible longs on the Euro US dollar. Now, what I like about this, yeah, it's uh, all right. So hear me out. I know that I said I showed you how Lagarde came out super dovish, right? Today, talking about no rate hikes throughout 2022. Yeah, fundamentally speaking, the euro is going to weaken more and more and more and more, more and more and more. This market is super bearish. Now, um, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit tired, so I was looking at. I was looking at this on the wrong side. So we're looking at US dollar long. So that means that we should be looking at shorts here on the Euro USD. No setup to do so here. There's no setup for US dollar buys. Yeah, I'm gonna go through crude oil because I also saw a possible setup today, but just wait just a second. Again, on the pound US dollar, no setup. Um, yeah, I mean here, maybe on the Aussie is the one that's yielding the best setup in my opinion. So basically, what I would want here on the Aussie is a rally towards the 71 23 or so, rally towards that 71.23, and here's where I would look for sales on the Aussie USD, which would be in fact buys on the US dollar on that dip. My entire sell zone is between the weekly pivot or the 71.60 and the 71.20. Um, yeah. Again, I don't know if that's going to play out or not, but yeah, I have to wait for that market open. Let's have a look at the Canadian dollar. Should be very, very bullish. Yeah, now, this is the thing, right? When it comes to non-farm payrolls Friday, one piece of advice that I have for you guys is do not trade the US dollar Canadian dollar um, um, based on US um, job numbers, right? Because it's also non-farm payrolls for Canada. So here we have the Canadian net change in employment, a big beat. Basically, Canada, super, super good employment numbers, a big beat in employment change, a big beat in unemployment rate. So the Canadian dollar is super strong at the moment. That could have an impact on crude oil. Let's have a look at that. Now, there's absolutely nothing that moved crude oil. Yay, your signal is proving correct. Yeah, what signal, mate? So, crude oil, right? What to say about this fucking market? All right, so earlier today, guys, I was looking at possible shorts in this market. Yeah, let's have I mean, I'm gonna show you the what I was looking at here in crude oil. I was just looking at impulses to the downside, impulse to the downside, pullback, impulse to the downside, pullback, impulse to the downside, then another pullback. And what I really, really, really dig about this is this this kind of a channel that price is trading in. What I don't dig about this is that I don't have a setup because price has pulled back in such a clean move to the downside, even to the upside, even though it's very choppy, guys. As you can see, it's very choppy, but it's a clean move in the sense that there's no clear previous lower lows, which would be my validation level. Now, my validation level in this case would be today's lows, which are around the 66.57. That would give me a, let's have a look. I mean, yes, I do take this setup. I shall take it, actually. Yeah. So I'm gonna place this order. Here's a freebie for you guys. Now, so here's the thing, right? Normally my stop losses, I would place my stop losses above these highs, above the previous highs. I'm placing my stop loss above today's highs, and here's the thing: it's very, very plausible that price is going to, break with that invalidation level, which will mean that I would have to delete the pending order. Now let me have a look. Just if I get a one-to-one placing my stops here. Actually, yes, I do. I do get a 1.7, a 1.2 R placing my stops above those highs. So why don't you guys let me think about this for a second? Yeah, um, this could actually be a no. It has to break with today's high, today's lows. Yeah, the reason that I'm looking at today's lows because of this, right? If you look at this move, we have a clear low here, clear high, a clear low, a clear high, a clear low, and then we have this move to the upside with no clear lows. Now, I mean, you could say that this is a clear a clear low. But what I don't like about this being my validation level is that in order for this to be a low, there has to be a previous high, and there's not. So just have a look, right? And this is how I see structure. This is how I see structure. And this is how I see validation and invalidation levels, right? So basically, we have a low here, a high, a low, a high, a low, and the next high is this fucking high right here, which means that this low is not actually a previous low or what could be a validation or invalidation level, right? Now, having said that, um, if price rallies even more, if price rallies even more, I could use this low as an invalidation level. So I'm not going to place that order just yet. I'm not going to place that order just yet, actually, because if a price breaks with these highs, right? If we get this move, I mean, if we get right from these highs to the lows, and if we get a new high, then this low is now my validation level, and I would get a much better risk to reward ratio. So I'm gonna wait for that possible trade. Just have a look at this possible 2.78R. That's a much, much, much better trade. So let's wait and see. You lost money on bloody oil? Well, yeah. I mean, be careful with oil, mate. I mean, this market, it's filled with algos trading the news, and if you don't have a squawk, you know, just be careful. So what are your thoughts on the GBP USD? It has been bullish since yesterday. I don't, I don't think so, but let's have a look. Bullish since yesterday. No, mate. GBP USD, you're talking about this market? No, it hasn't been bullish. This is absolutely non-directional. Now, having said that, I see the same thing on as I see on the Euro USD. You know, it's the same flat top capping the upside on this market as in the Euro USD, right? Well, it's more clear, or it's clearer, I'm sorry, on the pound US dollar, but I don't see any bullishness here. I am trading small account, no touching. Yeah, that's probably for the best. So let's hope that we get a new high here so I can use this low as my validation level and get a massive R on a possible short in crude. Let's have a look at equities. Yeah, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. When the release, when the data dump is really mixed. Yeah, it's not worth it to enter a trade. On non-farm payrolls or on high impact events, I really don't trade unless the data comes out extremely clean, everything pointing out to the same side. Right. Let's have a look at treasuries. Yeah, of course. Uh-huh. This is the 10-year. Uh-huh. Right. Williams. Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah. So let's look at metals. I'm going to log out. There's nothing, absolutely nothing tradable here. No, it's a shame. It's a shame, guys. But stay tuned. Exactly, and exactly, extremely. That is a chop miss. That is a good, 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 good way to burn money, and I really believe that a ton of traders just got burned there, trying to, uh, trying to trade this chart, trying to trade this chart. And again, there goes the buyers, but they're going to get squeezed, etc. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So. A couple of good setups in my eyes. I really don't have any good U.S. dollar long setups unless yeah on well maybe here right on the U.S. dollar Mexican peso. Actually, yeah. I do have a good U.S. dollar long on the U.S. dollar Mexican peso. That'll be for my VIPs. And I'm going to wait for the open on this possible crude oil short, yielding a good 2R. But I need this low to be validated, and for that I need price to break with the highs. And the Nasdaq that didn't move. Yeah, I'm really, really, really hoping for an open flush towards that 15,700 level. Heads up to that. Ratio wise, just have a look at ratio wise. This is why this is my preferred market to get involved long in equities. This should be 61.8. I'm sorry, 5. Yeah, around the 50% reduction. But what I'm talking about on how this market is moving ratio-wise, right? So basically, after the first leg down, price pulled back 61.8 and then hit targets at the 161.8 the first leg, right? And then boom, it hit targets at the 161.8 of that leg. Now, um, yeah, having said that, um, um, what was I talking about? I'm sorry, I was looking at my other screen. Yeah, ratios. So that's what I'm loving about a possible buy here on the Nasdaq. Why don't we have a look at some seasonality on the Nasdaq futures, seasonality on the NQ. So this is the E-mini Nasdaq the E-mini Nasdaq futures a seasonality chart. This is um, the data is on 10 years. No, that's too. Yeah, this is too way too short of a sample size charts. Let's have a look at the S&P 500. I think that we're going to get a much higher sample size. Right. So, yeah, December normally is a buy. This is about 20 or 30 years worth of data in the S&P 500. And you know, after a small dip on at the beginning of December, normally the S&P runs higher. Now, this is not a chart for you to take trading decisions. This is just to understand um, how, on average, you know, financial products move. This is one. I'm gonna close the show with the pound. This is pretty cool. The pound. Just how? No, this is not the one that I was looking at. You know, hold on. Let me show you the actual chart. I'm going to delete this. So, um, hold on. I don't remember the site I was looking at. Um, I remember now. Was I check? I don't know. Yeah. So, here's you know the commitment of traders chart, the COT. This is much better gauge. Let me show you that Nasdaq, E-mini Nasdaq futures. I don't want to open. No, I already missed the annual farm payrolls. Shit. I wanted to close that. Uh, well, this won't open. You know, next week I'll do a show on just seasonality and cut data. You know, right now it's not worth it. So heads up to all the you know all that I said. You know, again, this is just my opinion. Don't follow me. Understand what I do. You know, first. Um, and if it makes sense to you, might want to follow me. But you know, following blindly, um, you know, again, it's up to you. GBP USD bearish trend is clear on the daily time frame and forward chart. Yeah, it is, mate, and yeah, it is. It is. It is. But you know, right now it's super overextended. Um, on today's short, I was just targeting these lows on an anticipated move of US dollar strength because I saw this. What is it that I saw? I saw this a break. I saw this break of this previous range. You know that the XY was trading in. Um, but you know, momentum failed um, um, to continue, so I just closed it. A break even. Now, heads up to a break of that 96.46 level. You know, a clean break. Remember, we do have this fake out, so we need a clean break before taking longs on the USD. If that is the move, there's two scenarios on my eyes. Possible break and retest here, or that flush on the US Open that I was talking about. And that flush is my preferred setup to go long on the US dollar. And of course, the Nasdaq hopefully, it will dip again to give me that buy, because if it doesn't, I'm going to be a little sad because I missed the train on that. But it doesn't matter. There's tons of new setup brewing every day. Not every day, but every week. And we catch what we can. And finally, that US dollar Mexican peso on the hourly looking pretty, looking very pretty. Yeah, what can I say? You know, what can I say? Hold on, let me just do this uh, correctly. And let me clone this just to show you the actual structure in this market. As you can see, this here's a little thing that some of you might not do when creating or when drawing structure, right? If you're drawing a structure or a bearish structure, you should use the lows, and on a bullish structure, you should use the highs and then clone um, that line. Most people do the other way around. So yeah, I do have a clean setup here on the US dollar Mexican peso for US dollar strength, but that is going to be for my VIPs only. I think I gave you tons of free content today. Again, if you want to be part of the team, mates, there's a link below this video, and if you use the code 21 off, you'll get 21% off of your subscription. That's a good way to test us out. And if you don't like it, well, that's fine. Again, this is not for everybody, and you should be very comfortable with the team that you are trading. So I'm not going to push blindly our services to you at all. Um, and that's it. Let's see. Hello, maybe someone already told you this, but I'm only doing forex trade. Yeah, and since 2 months, I'm only losing with your trades. I had 1,000 the beginning, and I'm around 700. What are your advices? Well, my advice is maybe I don't trade that big. uh, I mean, you lost 30% of your account. Um, don't trade that big. It's insane. It's insane how much you lost, percentage-wise, right? So don't trade that big, mate. Be careful with that. Um, and don't, I mean, and go back through your trades. Go back through your trades. Every trader catches a drawdown period. You know, I try to, personally speaking, what I try to do is I try to minimize losses. For example, yesterday, on my US dollar Swiss franc trade that hit stop losses, you already know if you're a VIP, I made a ton of mistakes. I mean, that trade was horrible. The idea and the setup was good, but I made a mistake on my stop loss positioning. I made a mistake on how I managed that trade, and I ended up losing 1 R. I don't understand why you are down 30% if you are trading with a 1% risk rate. I really don't. But you should. You should definitely look into that, but because I don't know, it's clearly not possible. So I'm gonna make a video, and I'll upload it publicly for everybody, where I will go through all the mistakes that I made on that particular trade. And it's important, guys, because I'm fully transparent. We are Olympio and I are fully transparent on what we do. And the most important reason that I want to do this video, I'll do it during the weekend. Actually, I'm going to the beach, so yeah, I'll do it whilst drinking a coconut. So the the most important reason that I want to do that video is because I want to show you how I go very meticulously through my losing trades, right? And the reason that I go so meticulously through my losing trades is because uh, I learn from those mistakes. I plug those leaks in my trading. It's very, very easy to start making very small mistakes here and there, but those small mistakes add up. You know, those small mistakes add up, and if you don't plug those leaks, well, your ship is going to sink. So, mate, 340 trades with 1% risk makes around 30% loss. First of all, that's not how percentages work. You know, that's not how you add percentages. And you're saying that you didn't have one losing trade, one winning trade. I mean, that's clearly not, um, not true. But you know what? Uh, I don't know. I mean, if you send your trading data to our support email, more than happy to look very quickly through it. All right, that I can do for you. How can I trade crypto? Binance is okay for your crypto trades. I use CFDs to trade crypto. And now all brokers, all forex brokers have crypto CFDs. So it's very easy to trade everything on one platform. But for example, Think Markets has a ton of them. Hold on, let me just. It has Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, uh, Bitcoin Cash, Ripple, Monero, Dash, Solana, and a ton of other ones, even Dodge. So I just traded through my MT4 main, you know. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Of course. Um, we are a full-on services for our VAPs. So, yeah, I mean, there's no need. Like I told you, we're fully transparent. We don't hide anything, and I'm more than happy to go through your historical trades. But just don't send me a year worth of trading, right? Just a couple, just the last month or last couple of months would be okay. Right, so been live for an hour. Thank you for joining me. Had a blast again. It's a shame that we couldn't trade the Nasdaq, right? But we can't force the markets. Um, we can't force the markets. And as you can, as you all saw, it was untradeable. Still is. So I'm gonna wait for the open for the in about what 20 minutes or so. I'm not gonna be live for that. My throat is starting to itch. And yeah, I'll keep you posted if you're a VIP. With MT4 and AvaTrade, when it's crypto, it's right 9999 on a lot, and I can't change that. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Right. So again, thank you for joining me. If you dig what you see, why don't you take a look at the VIP side? Test us out with that 21% um, you know, uh, discount using the 21 off code on the link below the video. You might actually like what you are missing out on. So again, thank you for joining me, guys. I'll make that. I'll record that video on the US dollar Swiss franc trade, losing trade, and all the mistakes that I made. Maybe that will help you out to find. Um, to see leaks on your own trading. Maybe not, but again, I think it'll be worth it. So trade safe. If you're a VIP, stay tuned for possible trades on the US Open and stay really tuned because put on the alerts on that fucking Telegram group because that is going to be a quick one and you might miss it. Right? Thank you. Cheers.